Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to show you what I purchased from the Chanel Spring Summer collection this year, and I need to preface this straight away by reminding you of my New Year's resolution, which is to buy far less this year, or at least buy much more mindfully my cosmetics and makeup, and try and use what I've already got a bit more. So I have been really careful so far. These are the first purchases that I've bought this year. That's not quite true. There is one thing that I tried to purchase and it didn't turn up as kind of part of Chinese New Year. I might talk about that a bit later if there's time. But I don't want to get too distracted because it's already dark. And so I just want to show you what I got from Chanel. And you can see it's not very much this time round. I couldn't resist the nail polishes, even though I have hundreds literally of nail polishes, because that really is one collection that I haven't quite got my mind round giving up yet. The time may come, but at the moment I still want to maintain the collection that I've started of Chanel polishes. And these two are really pretty, particularly this one. I haven't got a lot like this in my collection, although I'm going to show you in a minute a few that I think are quite similar if you're thinking of getting it. This one is, I'd call it quite a deep lilac. It's got a very slight sheen, a kind of satin, and it's called Mirage if you're looking for it on the website or in store. And it really is a very pretty spring look, but also I think can work quite well in winter. I wore it last week. I'm sorry I didn't manage to photograph it and show it on Instagram on my nails or make this video because it had a tremendous last. I was doing a lot with my hands last week. I had it professionally applied and it lasted 9 days. It was chipping by the end, but that was a really, really good last for any nail polish. So very impressed with that. What's like it if you're a collector like me? Well, I think others will have shown you. Certainly Allison Chase did a video and she showed Tenderly, which is what I think a lot of us thought of when we saw the photographs of this. In fact, you can see the two together. Tenderly is much more of a neutral, a much more kind of lilac tinged grey. I love Tenderly. I have worn it quite a lot. Another one that I thought of straight away was from last year's Spring Summer collection called Purple Ray. And again, you can see that's a much more neutral, lighter, almost milky lilac. Actually, I think perhaps one of the most similar, and even this isn't the same, is one from a very limited collection quite a while ago called Rodeo Drive, which is, I would say, a true purple lilac. So even that, quite different, although I think those two look quite similar on the nails, but this is a much better formulation. I mean, this is quite old now, but really, really pretty. So I don't think lilac is a tremendously popular shade, so it may be that a lot of you could justify, if you like nail varnish, buying Mirage, because it is a bit different from the run-of-the-mill Chanel. The other one, which I also like, and I have on my nails at the moment, this was applied yesterday morning, so it's done 36 hours so far. This is called Daydream, and this is, I would call, a pinky beige, definitely a pink-toned beige neutral. And Chanel do a lot of these, although they're surprisingly different when you compare them side by side. What I really like about this one, I think with neutrals and with beiges in particular, it's very much a matter of getting one that suits your skin tone. And it's not necessarily the one that looks good on your friend or you've seen in a video and looks really nice. I can always remember being really shocked that Essay's ballet slippers, which people rave about and often looks really, really nice on people's fingers, looks absolutely dreadful on me. I have quite a lot of pink undertone in my skin, and I just feel this one, I hope you agree, is quite flattering to me. So I'm really pleased with this. If the formulation is as good as Mirage, then it's going to definitely be a go-to neutral for me, very suitable for work. As I say, Chanel do a lot of them. I pulled out this one from a few years ago, Beige, which I had thought was very similar, but you can see immediately is a lot more beige, yellow toned beige, that's what I mean, rather than the pink toned. So this one is quite flattering on me as well, but not as much, I feel, as this one. So I'm very pleased with those two polishes, and I think I've managed to justify to myself buying them, notwithstanding the ban. Then out of the collection, you've probably seen now, it's a really pretty collection. If this had been this time last year when I was still buying willy-nilly, I probably would have bought the highlighter. It's really, really pretty. It looks pretty in the container, in the palette, but I just couldn't justify buying yet another highlighter. I bought two of Chanel's highlighters in December alone, one of which I'm using a lot, the kind of rosy gold one, the other one not so much, and I've got so many, I couldn't justify that. There were two very pretty eye palettes. One of them I felt in particular was very much a standard Chanel neutral. The other one, which was the kind of warmer pinky toned one, again, I think I would have been tempted in previous years, but I just didn't need another eye palette. So I passed on those, but there are lots of great videos out there showing them. I might link below this my favourite YouTubers who often show luxury collections. So I'm thinking of people like Allison Chase, who I've mentioned, Anniko Vida, who I love her work, and she's probably kind of the most similar colouring and age to me, although we're not quite the same. Hair colour's very different. Who else? I'm going to link down a few who I watch that you can look at if you want to see far more of the collection displayed. The other thing that I thought I could justify buying was one of these newish products, the Longwear liquid eyeshadow, because I hadn't had anything quite like that from Chanel. Now, I couldn't get the one I would have absolutely chosen to try out, which was a kind of pinkish one, a bit like this, which I think was called Opal or Opaline, because it wasn't on the website when I looked. So I went for this one, which is Rayon, which is the lightest kind of goldy one. I have to say, I'm not really a huge fan. I think I just find it quite difficult to use. I mean, the applicator's absolutely fine. It is very pretty. You can see there, it goes on. You have to work with it very quickly because it dries down very quickly, and all the people demonstrating emphasize that, and that's fine. I also find that when you try to work it with a brush, it kind of spreads too much unless you absolutely dab like that and kind of streaks all over the place. That's completely dried now. And I guess I'm not really very sure what to do with it. I've tried it as a base, and it's fine, but I don't really see the point of it because it kind of disappears, and that may be the fault of the colour that I picked if I use it as a base. I can't work it beyond the lid. The liquid nature of it just doesn't blend very easily. The other thing is kind of using it as a top accent on the mobile lid. But again, for me, it doesn't apply as easily or as effectively as, for example, the Illusion d'Ombre. So I'm kind of really at a loss as to what this would add to the makeup arsenal. And that's probably just because I'm not that skilled with applying makeup. It did kind of remind me of this product, which was a few years ago, I think in a summer collection. And these are pencils. The thing that reminded me, and nobody mentions this when they're trying them, when it goes on, it actually feels very cool. And this was exactly like that. But this I found much, much easier. I mean, it doesn't dry. You've got time to kind of blend, and it works far more like a crayon. But I actually found the kind of finish very similar. I have got a gold one as well, but I just couldn't find it for the purposes of making this video. So this, it's still going strong, and I do use it from time to time. I would find much more user-friendly than this liquid, to be honest. But interested to know if others of you really like this. There are about 5 colours. They're all really pretty colours. I don't feel they work for me, but they will work for some people. So that's it. I've been pretty good on the makeup front. I have been tempted. Chinese New Year seems to be a thing now. A lot of the range is bringing out red and gold packaging. Hugely tempted by the Guerlain meteorites that are in a red and gold tin. Really, really pretty, but I absolutely didn't need any more meteorites. I tried to buy a Too Faced highlighter, after all that I've said about not needing any more highlighters. It was a kind of opaline one, especially for Chinese New Year, but Selfridges managed to send me somebody else's order entirely. So I missed out on that, and I'm still in, shall we say, discussions with Selfridges about that. So I've managed to deter myself from buying into Chinese New Year. When did that become a thing for makeup? I guess it's, when will we ever run out of new events to market new ranges for? They're very ingenious, really. You've got to hand it to them. So I will say now to all of you who are celebrating, Happy Chinese New Year. I can't say that in Chinese. And let me know if you have bought and enjoyed anything from any of the spring summer collections. Until next time, bye for now.